Hey guys, and you are listening to Profound Radio. I'm Maple.
I'm Silven.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Kaleb.
I'm Gemma.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Wow, Gemma, that was so uplifting.
That was uplifting.
I'm Gemma.
Hi, I'm Gemma with jingle bells and everything.
Yeah, it's better, thank you.
Oh, dear. Okay, so we have an absolute mega agenda to get through today. It is.
Oh God, it's going to be so hard to get through. So much shit has happened this week, guys.
Oh God, yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's been crazy.
Everything is
It
exploding.
has been. I feel like this has been a really good week for this show because there's so much shit we can talk about. But first, we're going to talk about some very important things. For our first hour, we are going to discuss the actual show and how amazing this episode was.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm so in love with season 9. It is ridiculous.
It's absolutely amazing so far, because like, watching the premiere, I think a lot of us were like, okay, how the hell are they going to top this? And then this episode happened.
They topped it.
And I mean, oh my God.
Okay, I have to just say something. I'm going to bring up Abaddon first because she seems like she's going to be a very big character to talk about. I loved how they basically pulled a Voldemort when they were resurrecting Abaddon's vessel.
Yes.
I know.
It was like, just shove some blood in there, some symbols.
That was
Fine.
awesome.
And just when she rose up, it was just my heart.
It was amazing.
Also-
And I really love that, I'll be really happy if they bring in more, like, visuals of rituals into the show. Like, I'm always
Yes.
very excited about that. That's so awesome.
It's like stuff like just the tip of the iceberg, really, of more myths and like rituals that we've never seen before, and we are. And the thing is, if we learned so much last season about killing hellhounds and curing demons, it's like, what more is there?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes me really happy that they're really finding ways to dive into the mythology of the show
Yes.
without the show seeming too cluttered like it did in season 6 and season 7. They're really finding ways to meld demons and angels back in and make it more interesting, because now they've got Abaddon and how she's trying to bring back, to me it seems like she's trying to bring back the more biblical sort of hell. Like, we've had to deal with this hell that we've seen with Crowley, and when the way Abaddon is talking about it, it's just like, wow, now she's
Like,
talking about
general.
hell.
She's like a general going to war, and I just loved that. I have to admit, also,
Yeah.
I did have a bit of a sick, funny moment. I was like, when they resurrected her, I was like, I'm so pleased they remembered all her limbs, because that would have been a bit of a bad if they had resurrected her and like, arm was missing, something like that. Just saying, like, if they'd forgotten an arm and left it in the church, and she's like, dude, where the hell is my arm? That would be bad.
I have to say
I do
though,
feel like I do feel like there is a problem with her that is going to end up being her downfall, and it's a problem that we see in every single supernatural big bad, and it's that already I feel like she's underestimating the Winchesters.
Yeah. Crowley is the only one not to do that. And look at him, he's still alive.
I have to admit, I did kind of like Crowley in this episode. I was watching it, and I was like, the minute he said, "You really put the Sam and SN down," I actually laughed, and I was like, "Wow!" But I love what Abaddon's doing. I love what she's doing. I love how she is basically telling all the demons that everything that Crowley's been telling you is complete bullshit, and now we're actually going to be evil. So let's just get this shit done.
She was clever enough to think, excuse me, we don't need you possessing or grannies. Let's go get some soldiers from a base. Hello?
She's making
8 seasons and we've never seen that.
Abaddon.
For the first time in season.
Yes.
We're finally scared.
Yes, I saw that post too. And I think Abaddon, Crowley likes to treat everything like a production, whereas Abaddon is like getting to business.
Yeah.
I think she's a few fries short of a happy meal. I think she's nuts. But
Yeah.
But
That's
I
good.
think that stems from both
scary.
I think it stems from both Crowley and Abaddon being two different types of demons. It's like Abaddon has always said, Crowley is a salesman. He treats everything like a business. Abaddon, she is most likely an ex-angel. She's a soldier, and she is going to go out there and she's going to win the war.
I can see her being really old as well.
Kill.
Like, really, really old, and, you know, it's ingrained
can I say,
in her.
though, this is kind of a conflict. Yeah, and, like, I can see that, like, it's kind of a conflict of their approaches, and I have to say, though, firstly, I think they both have a point in terms of how they approach the whole thing, and secondly, personally, I still do think that Crowley's approach has more, like, longevity in it, because charismatic leaders, they are great for kind of getting that upraising and leading everyone, but then they also crash very epically. Well, Crowley, he's, like, reasonable about everything, you know?
I feel like her main downfall is that she doesn't want to let anyone else rule with her. I feel like if Abaddon and Crowley teamed up, there would be no stopping either of them. Crowley would be able to use his own little army of demons to sort of get as many human souls as he can into hell, because he'd be able to make them take deals and thus guaranteeing more people down into hell. And then Abaddon would be able to organize those souls, turn them into demons, and use them as soldiers.
You see, when she was talking about, like, kings that conquer, that whole lovely speech, it made me think very much like Game of Thrones, where basically you win or you lose, and it's going to be very cutthroat, and I think that's why she wants Crowley's head. And that's why I love her, because she's ruthless. She's going to, like, conquer, and, you know,
you've got to be a very intense season.
It's going to be very nice. I know Tom is reminding us literally of production of that episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You'd
where I
make a
pulled
good
it from.
scene, sir.
Can I just say, like, look, I'm not gonna even, like, say that they are queering him up, because he's never been, if we are comparing queer to normal, Crowley has never been quote-unquote normal, but now it's getting really unhinged, isn't it? I mean, it's like, I felt like, you know, remember when we used to do those challenges over here where we have to mention something a certain amount of times?
Yeah.
I felt like Crowley was playing a game like that with S&M references in the episode.
Hey, I do have one thing to say, though, about when Abaddon was resurrected. Can I just say sort of kudos for not over-sexualizing it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
It was
that's
so
the point I was
it
gonna
was
make
subtle and
It
amazing.
was yes. It was, the thing is, there was no need to have any, you know, sexy kind of, you know, shots, because it wasn't, that was what wasn't about. It was about her being resurrected. It wasn't about getting a
But it was a
huge
nice
shot.
touch
And
that she was naked, to be honest, because obviously all her clothes were burnt off, so it makes sense, and it was done well,
and it was just a nice touch. Yeah. There was just enough, you know, just nice.
Just enough to tell me she was naked, but not enough to over-sexualize it and make it a problem.
Yes, and defer away from the main point.
Actually, the feeling I got is that it actually made her feel, like, powerful.
Yeah, it was really... I did see someone say that Abaddon being resurrected like that, she may have been naked, but she was powerful, so she may have been open, but at the same time you had the sense of power around her, and she was strong, despite her nudity.
Yeah, I agree with Claire.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I feel at first when they first, like, I'm going to kind of change gears here a little bit to Tracy.
Yeah.
I really want to bring, since we're talking about women.
I was literally going to say that, yes.
With Tracy, it seemed, I was very apprehensive when she first came on, because I was like, oh God, now they're going to turn her into some kind of damsel of distress. And I was like, but then it completely surprised me. Like, did you guys get that whenever she was introduced?
She was
it was amazing.
I found her a bit awkward, but also I liked what they tried to do with her. Like, something about her just kind of weird, but also
it was amazing.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah, I felt like what they did was really smart, because they showed this really attractive female in Daisy Dukes, flaunting her legs. And then you think, oh, here we go. The first 5 minutes is Supernatural.
Yeah.
We know this
and
drill.
Then,
but then, bam! She just slays the thing, drags it out of the car, like, who's next?
It was, well, the thing is, it was really clever, because it was setting you up for this stereotype. Oh, she's on a Daisy Duke. She's got to be real. She's real pretty. And obviously, then you cut to a van, which you're not quite sure what they're doing in it, heightens the sexuality up a bit more. And then she comes out with a head, and that destroys the stereotype, really.
Yes.
And you know what's funny? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, can I just say, I saw that as an incredibly important moment because to me, that was a really strong moment of reclaiming of female sexuality and using female sexuality as a tool of power to, it's not that quote-unquote empowering where a woman gets quote-unquote empowered through being presented in a way that's attractive to men for their pleasure, but no, she uses it against her enemy and she fucking wins. And that was just amazing.
You know what popped in my head when I saw that scene? I literally just thought of Silven with her misandry katana.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea was, I think the idea of her was really good, and her first incoming thing, and also like a little mini story of being a repercussion of what Dean and Sam had previously done, and obviously it's all about consequences of your actions. But I think whether I would like to see her again, I'm not entirely sure, because she hasn't made that much of an impression on me as a hunter. Because she didn't really do a lot. She just got kidnapped and then went and got baby, and drove it back and shot Abaddon a bit. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Maybe to see her again. I'm not sure. It just depends what the writers would do.
Did you guys? Did you guys see the theory that Abaddon's hitching a ride in Tracy? Or someone's hitching a ride.
Ooh.
You know when she went to get the Impala and she disappeared and then she came back right at the end of the fight? People think that she's got something in her.
That's interesting. Oh, also, can I just say, I saw that, what I also saw in the beginning that was extremely important was that when we see that sexualized picture of her, that picture is featured through the point of view of the villain in the scene. And when that point of view ends, the sexualization ends, because like none of the men on screen later, the Winchesters, none of them are ogling her, and she's not like presented like that. And that's really important. It's really
they're saying that it's wrong to look at the skeevy vampire perving on the girl when the other guys took her seriously as a hunter. I liked that, but I think I don't know about the theory about her having something in it because she drank some holy water and she was fine. Whether she got something in her once she left the building, who knows?
She went to get the Impala and she disappeared for
I don't know.
The rest of the time.
I don't think that's actually true, because I feel like it's a possibility, but I feel like they would have
it would be a waste of a good
something
character
to show
idea.
that she probably was sort of possessed. But really, all they did was drive her home. I feel like if Abaddon would have hitched a ride with them, then she probably would have done something to them while she was in the Impala with them.
Well, we don't
probably.
It's a theory.
And to be honest,
it's a good theory. Like, it'd be really interesting, but I just don't think that it happens like that.
Yeah, I'm with Shannon. My initial feelings is that I'm not gonna believe that until I see it.
She's got something good going for her. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm also with you, Gemma. That I feel like that if they just
left her,
possessed her right then and there, that I feel like that would be sort of a waste of a potentially good female
character. Yeah, and I think maybe more needs to be done with her, but sometimes I don't trust writers about whether they can do it right.
That's why I'm really hopeful, because it felt like the way they left the character that they're definitely going to try to reintroduce her later on.
Yeah. And actually, I'm kind of nervous about her because she did seem like at the end that she forgave Sam really easy, but thinking she might not have. Like I'm on this sort of fence, like where I feel like if she is introduced, and she's not going to be completely with the Winchesters.
Just because she forgave them doesn't necessarily mean she's trusting them or like their biggest fans.
The main thing that she did was that she realized that if she wanted to survive, then she's going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't think she necessarily forgave Sam. I don't think she really did anything. I'm just thinking she was probably doing whatever she could to survive. That's why she went off to get the Impala, because she knew that if she tried to fight, then she was going to die.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
To live.
Can I just say
feeling... You go ahead, Jem.
Sorry. How clever Abaddon's already 100% cleverer than everybody else because she's got a blooming bulletproof vest on.
Oh, Abaddon
Yes.
is
Needed
smart.
it 2 seconds, and she's cleverer than everybody else. She shoves a flipping. I love the future. I love you, sweetie. I love you.
It's like, oh my gosh, Abaddon, you've done something that literally no other character in the entire 9 years the show has been doing ever
Yes.
do. Good job for you. Like, imagine.
Wear some
You
freaking
get-
Kevlar.
You get a gold star. Gold star, A for effort. Sorry, Caleb.
Oh, hold on. I think I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry. But no, I'm on the fence with Tracy. I would like to see her again, but I really did like the whole.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like
that's-
the writers definitely need to be really careful with that character.
But I did really love the fact that she came in and she wasn't like the Winchester's biggest fan or anything like that. She came in,
Yeah.
and this was a
Oh,
stark,
I just remembered. what I was gonna
stark
say.
thing of consequences of opening the cage. Her
Yeah.
family died.
The 903 sneak peek is out.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh god.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm just gonna
Oh my God,
I'm gonna
sorry.
play it on our stream. Hang on.
If everyone
Oh
That
wait,
is
no.
so awesome.
Let's play it when we get to
Basically
when we
saying-
start talking about the fandom news.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because right now we need to get the
Yeah.
Yeah.
show.
We need to get through
Keep
the
going.
episode agenda. Also, can I just say, I can really, like, you can really see with what Supernatural is doing that it really is trying to get better at female characters. Like,
It
I
is.
really get that impression.
Because
Both
obviously
from
we've got
last
Abaddon,
season.
we've got Tracy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
last
it's
season
from
we
this
had
season.
actually even last season we had Mama Tran, who was a really
Yeah.
strong woman.
But,
But
what would
it's something. That,
sorry.
it's something that makes me very, very excited. It's something like I feel like obviously they're going to make mistakes with these female characters, obviously, but the fact is that they're really trying. And so far with Tracy, even though Tracy had her faults, and with Abaddon right now, and Abaddon obviously has her faults, that they're really trying to do a good job.
yeah.
And
You know what?
gives me a warm feeling inside my heart. I'm
Yeah,
like, Supernatural,
I'm-
finally getting it right.
Yes, and like, what would really drive it home for me if more female characters were introduced that would not be considered conventionally attractive, because to me, that is like the litmus paper.
And I also like the fact that she wasn't. She was, from a different. I'm trying to say this the best way, and I've lost my train of thought completely. She wasn't like Joe, or she wasn't like anybody. She wasn't your straight up American girl. She had a bit of mystery about her. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. I also
And-
really love that she was a person of color.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to get. Thank you. I was trying to get
Jem
it without
forgot
being
her
too English.
words.
I forgot my words. But okay, so if we've got lots of fandom news, can we move on to either Dean and Kevin or?
Let's talk about Ezekiel. Let's
Yes!
talk about a freaking Ezekiel. I
Yes.
still do not trust this little.
But I so
still
No,
want
I'm
to.
sorry.
I
I
want
want
to trust
my
him. I want to
trust.
like him, but no.
My
I
trust
want
with
him to be
Ezekiel
good.
like dwindles every time.
I mean, I did like it that he saved Sam, and I loved it when he kind of, that stupid demon was like, yeah, and then like, bitch, I'm an angel, ta-da!
I feel like first of all, I just gotta Jared Padalecki's acting.
Oh my God.
Second of all,
Yes.
just that little scene that they had. I
Tom.
want to think, oh, you've got an angel nickname. You have to be cool. You need to be cool. But 'cause,
See,
I mean,
I don't trust it.
Freaking Ezekiel, I love it.
See, oh god.
and
it's
I really
like-
just want to trust him. I really want him to be a good guy because he's so sweet.
We need another good angel. I honestly like the biggest reason why I'm really hoping he will be good, despite all of our trust issues, is that guys, we need at least one like good angel.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know, but the reason why I'm so suspicious is because
This is supernatural.
Sam
we're not
like
allowed nice
suddenly
things.
feeling all butterflies about his life, and I'm just like,
yeah, I
that's
feel like
not
everyone was
right.
so excited over that scene. I was like, Sam, what the fuck are you talking about?
Sam, have you not learned? This
You've
is
never been
supernatural.
happy.
We're not allowed nice things. We're not allowed nice
You
things.
know what
And
the-
Ezekiel,
You know what
we're not
the-
allowed them.
You know what immediately I thought of? I was like, oh my god, Ezekiel must messing with his mind. and making him feel better.
Maybe
he healed him. He healed him physically, but maybe he's healed him emotionally, which I'm not sure is a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm not particularly keen on the little mind games that he's playing with Dean either.
I don't trust it. I really don't.
And trying to get into the wielding his way past the the armor of Dean, and I think Dean is actually opening up because he sees his brother's face, not realizing that this is an angel he's talking to in a way, and you could see that in his reaction, kind of that he didn't want to talk about love, he didn't want to talk about his feelings, but he found it really difficult because it's Sam standing in front of him, kind of thing.
It's just I don't know. I don't fucking know. And I'm just like, okay, I'm refusing to open my heart up to this man because I know he's just going to crumble it into a million little pieces.
Stardust the puppy says, I can't trust someone who turns from, so there is this option too, this is the only way to do it. And yes. And
it's just... I am going to be forever on the fence about Ezekiel until it's explicitly stated in the show that he is a good guy.
When we come into the spoilers from last night, when we come into fandom news, my opinion of him has completely changed.
Okay.
The little shit.
I think we've all had trust issues.
Are you talking about those pictures that were released? Because I haven't put them. I didn't ever put them in the fandom news. I should.
Oh, I thought you had. Sorry, but the ones, the ones that were tweeted.
Yeah, I saw them.
Yeah, the little shit.
It's just, Ezekiel, you're so just yourself. And I'm with Mapal. I want to trust him.
Yes, I want him to be good. I so want him to be good. I just Me
too, because it's like, Jesus Christ, someone has to be good around here.
Yes,
and
exactly.
if he's not good, I feel like then
it'll be so heartbreaking.
It's going to explain a lot with him being not good. But if he's a good guy, then he has some fucking apologizing to do. I'm serious.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And honestly, what I'm hoping for is that the main angle of the conflict is going to be the whole, the conflict itself about him possessing Sam, not the conflict about Ezekiel being bad. Obviously, there is issues.
And I think we're all kind of doing a little bit of, protecting ourselves here, because I think we are going to be, because it's so big, because it's like he's possessing Sam, and because of Dean's guilt, that we know it's all going to end badly. This is a supernatural. And I think we're all kind of really wanting Ezekiel to be good.
And honestly,
have we ever yet met a good angel, or an angel, even if he had good intentions, they're not necessarily going to play out right?
Yeah, that's what I'm most afraid of. And honestly, when I saw Sam being all happy, I was immediately heartbroken, because I knew that the moment he found out, it was because Ezekiel's inside him and not because everything is actually just suddenly good. He was going to be
It's not because of Sam's merits. It's not about Sam's merits and where they are. It's because he's got an angel pacemaker inside of him, probably shooting out some, antidepressants into his bloodstream or something.
Yes.
Oh, what if he's working for Metatron?
See,
what if Metatron wants something from the Winchesters, and he used Ezekiel to get it?
Or maybe he's just planted Ezekiel there because he knows Cass is going
to
be
I read this interesting theory that we saw the angels have their wings completely burned off, right? We saw that.
Yeah.
Well,
now there are people who are speculating just that. There are people speculating that just what Shannon said. We saw Ezekiel's wings; they were on him.
They were burned.
So maybe
fragile.
Yeah, but then again, they were very burned, and I think the main point might just be that he can't fly on them anymore. He can't fly on them in that state, and that might just be the main point of it.
I think if you were to ask another angel to do that, I think they would probably.
I think they would maybe look the same. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about what Cass's angel wings look like and what they look like, they look like they've been through hell.
I think the idea is that the feathers have been burnt, but there's still bones left. So.
And you can't fly.
You can't fly.
Feathers.
Yeah, the point is that a bird could never fly on wings like that.
And that's how they
painful.
teleport or whatever. You know what I mean? Their wings are that ability, so that's why they can't do that.
here's an interesting question, because obviously Ezekiel's healing himself while he's also healing Sam. Could he possibly heal his wings?
See, I
don't think so.
I was thinking maybe he is healing himself slowly in that way because his wings weren't totally burnt off. Maybe he can grow his feathers back, but I don't know.
I don't like this. I'm apprehensive about that because I don't think because wings aren't necessarily like like a limb that they can heal. Their wings depend on the grace that they have. Their feathers depend on the grace that they have. The reason his wings are like that is not because he's like injured. It's because his grace, a lot of his grace is just burned out. It was burned out when he fell to earth. Those are that's what he has left of his grace, and that's all his grace can manifest
So
anymore.
The question
it
is,
can't
what is he
manifest.
healing?
He's trying to.
And also, why would Metatron let him heal?
Yeah. So what is he healing?
Because
he's healing Sam.
I think the little shit's probably got something to do with it. Sorry, I can't call him by his name. He will always be known as that little shit. I think it's. I think.
Metatron has given us so many issues. It's just like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's the most epic trust issue. Just like, oh.
Okay,
because the last season played such a joke on us. The whole season with Naomi and then Metatron. I mean, it was just.
And you know what I'm imagining? Remember, like a few weeks before the season finale, and we were all just like, Metatron! And now we're like, Metatron!
No, like, we hate him. He's like...
Now, every time I have the urge to say something, use the name of Satan to say something bad, I cross Satan out and say Metatron. Because he's worse.
The thing is, even my mum, I think, has now started to call him that now. He's like, Metatron. But yes, yeah, but I don't know. I just, it's all going to fall out and it's all going to be messy and it's just all going to be really painful. And we might as well just all go out and buy Kleenex now. People just... The thing is, if we plan for the worst and then we get, so pleasantly surprised, great.
Yeah. And we should plan for the worst because this is the second act. This is the act where they ruin everything. So, just prepare for that.
We've got to talk about something happy. We really do. Because I'm getting so sad over talking about, all this.
I could play
something happy. You mean,
the sneak
peek?
The sneak peek.
Kevin, perhaps.
The sneak peek.
Kevin freaking Solo is what we should talk about.
Kevin's not a happy subject, by the way.
Kevin's not a happy subject. Yeah, that episode.
Kind of torture Crowley and everything, but he did get inaugurated into the family Winchester.
Yeah.
Although now that I think about it, is that really a good thing?
Yeah, true.
Comparatively, out of everything else he could be doing right now, probably because he's sitting in the one safe place. But then again, I mean, yeah.
Oh, but I loved it when Dean was looking after him and how protective Dean was of him.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Because it's just like how big brother stroke parent he is. I think Dean's realised from last season that Kevin's just is a kid. And last season they were like, this is your job, this is what you got to do to get out, you just got to buckle up. This season he's now more protective and very much like, this kid is my responsibility. I've got to look after him. He's,
what I was really happy about, though?
What?
I was really worried that they would let Prowler into the bunker with Kevin, and Kevin have, no, real reaction to it. But I was so happy he did, because I'm sometimes I've seen in TV shows that the writers forget what characters have done to each other.
Yeah, what they did with what they did with their entire redemption arc with Meg.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that.
I felt like one of the highlights of the episode was at the very end. Because it sort of... I felt like it was a really emotional moment. It's like what you said last... It's like what... I forgot which one of y'all said it, because I'm really spazzy right now because of the steroids. And, I loved that how we're seeing the contrast Last season
Yeah.
was Kevin. Kevin, you have to do this. Kevin, you have to do this. Stay up all night. Take your medication. Turn yourself into a freaking zombie. And now this season, we've got this episode where Kevin is feeling backed up, and Dean's getting
Getting prune juice.
Prune juice.
I
Oh,
saw that.
God.
You've got Kevin wanting to leave, and you've got Dean knowing that if he went out there, then he would die. You've got Dean telling Kevin, you have to stay. We want you to be safe. You're part of our family.
And it was so amazing. And can I just say, Kevin, to me, is a character with some of the most stunning character development I've seen in the series, because how he begins and what he's like now, it's unbelievable.
Such good writing.
Such good writing, I can't even.
And I love, it's not, and the thing is, it's not just, you can see it in Sam as well, how much he how very protective of them, that, that when they brought Crowley in, obviously I think it was to help that he didn't really recognise where he was, but also, they checked to make sure Kevin is okay and still alive, and before they bring him in. And then they actually discuss it, that Kevin wants to kill him, but they explain why he's still breathing, but the fact that they want to kill him too, that they would, because that's my favourite line, what would Sam Winchester do? Stab him in the brain. That was my favourite line. But yeah, so it's I do like that, and I love that he's like, if you don't think we would bleed for you, he's officially a Winchester. He's part of Team Free Will, and I love it because it means that they're going to use him properly, and it's not going to be repetitive.
Yeah, and can we also talk about how Dean mentioned Cass and that entire
Cass's
speech?
family.
Yes.
And I actually want to address something that Tiger Lily said in the chat. It just felt manipulative, like the last time he tried to talk Kevin out of going to look on his mom. I didn't get the manipulative vibe, because you got the manipulative vibe when Crowley was trying to get Kevin to let go. I did not believe that Mama Tran was alive for a second. I know that the minute that Crowley would have gotten out of those binds, he probably would have killed Kevin too. And then he would have left, or he would have stolen Kevin and tried to use him. I don't think that Mama Tran is alive. I'm sorry. I think she's dead. She died off screen, and it's a very sad thing because she was such a great character, but she's dead. I think
Dean's right. Even if she was alive, she wouldn't be alive for long, or she wouldn't be his mum. She'd be possessed. She'd be, flailed. She'd be. They would have tortured her to the point that it wouldn't be his mum anymore.
Yeah. And the point is, if Kevin went out there anywhere without the Winchesters, he would definitely, absolutely get abducted the minute he went out there.
I can guarantee you one of those crazy-ass angels would have grabbed him and made them be a vessel for them, because a soul can't get a soul, like, next to the Winchesters, Kevin in heaven to angels is probably considered one of the strongest beings ever, because he's a prophet.
And the thing is, Dean's pretty much saying, I know you want your mum and everything like that, and I think it was very much a case of your mum's not going to, even if she is alive, she's going to be dead, and Dean's thinking for Kevin's safety, I think, above the mother's. He's thinking
Kevin's got to learn to be realistic.
He's thinking that Kevin's an 18-year-old boy who needs.
Yeah, he values Kevin's life more than the off chance of his mom being alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they really wanted to use someone, they would have been like, oh yeah, just go, because if you die, there'll be another prophet. And we can find him. If they really were wanting to use him as a tool, they would just think, oh well, if he dies, there'll be another prophet somewhere, which they probably know about because they saved them in last series.
Mm-hmm.
So really, Kevin, they're looking after him because he's an 18-year-old boy. He's been through hell, has done so much for them, and the thing is, family doesn't end in blood. But also, you have to pay. But they also have to earn that right to be a member of the family. Cass has earned the right to be a member of the family, and Kevin has now Dean's pretty much saying, "You've earned a right to be a Winchester," because he's bled, he's done everything, he's has sacrificed a lot, and that's what I'm saying.
And can I just say also that for that moment was not just significant for Kevin's development, but I felt that it was also significant for Dean, because the thing for Dean specifically is that he has abandonment issues and he's afraid of losing people, so admitting each new member to the family for him is a huge thing because of that.
It's a massive thing. And
it's a massive thing.
And the thing is, I know, obviously, Osric that beautiful tear. But even Dean was almost in tears here because he recognised this young lad realising his mother was lost to him, and I think he could feel that because he's lost his own mother. He was seeing himself as that 4-year-old boy again. So yeah.
And I mean, you gotta wonder how many times Dean probably went through the thing like Kevin did. You gotta think what the hope that Dean had that maybe one day there could be some way he could see his mom. And he's got to think that looking at Kevin, seeing how much Kevin still hoped, and I feel like Dean was just trying to make Kevin realize that he has to be realistic.
I think, obviously, the thing is, Dean and Sam had tact decisions. If there was any way, absolutely any way of saving, if his mum was alive, they would have totally done it by now, and they wouldn't let somebody necessarily suffer. If there was any way that they could have done it, but obviously there isn't, and they value Sam. They're probably thinking as well, what would Mrs. Mama Charm want? She want her boy to be safe.
Yeah, she would have wanted Kevin to go out.
She would want her son to be safe, and I think Sam and Dean recognise that.
I mean, yeah, and again, literally, he would get the minute he went out of that bunker. There was no way of avoiding that if you went there without the Winchesters. That's just hard fact.
Yeah, and yeah. So, but I love that kind of, that Dean's recognizing that sometimes being really forceful and really, with his usual temper, and being stubborn doesn't necessarily work. Actually talking about your feelings. It's massive character development because he would never have gone out and put out there that he sees him as family and talk about feelings and everything like that. He would have said, "No, get your ass back in here and sit down," or probably shoot him or tie him to a chair or something. I think it's really good character development.
And I don't think the Winchesters or Dean was keeping Kevin back without. I don't think they did it without Kevin's consent. Kevin could have just went off and left anyway after that speech.
But I think he recognized.
But he stayed because Dean reasoned with him.
Yes, rather than just ordering him. Because
they didn't strip Kevin of free will.
They gave him a choice.
They gave him a choice. But Dean was voicing the other side because he knew that it was gonna be a suicide mission with all these crazy ass angels and all these demons rising to power. Because you got to remember, this happened after their encounter with demons. Now.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like bunker or death. It's your choice.
So it's like they were recently reintroduced to the new type of demon management. I guess they got a taste of Abaddon's new management.
Ever.
Yeah.
And the angels are nutty and everything. It's just, yeah.
So it's literally just...
I'm sorry, I just keep thinking you said bunker or death, and I was like, cake or death.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to do.
The Winchester version was prune juice or death.
Yes, prune juice or death. I'll have chicken, please. Oh my god, we have some! Yay! Can we move on to Abaddon and Dean?
Oh, yeah.
This is a touchy subject.
It's a very touchy subject. We're gonna, I think...
While Dean and Abaddon are hot on their own, combined, they are not.
And can I just say how hot Dean was in that episode? Just the whole Henley tattoo.
And how hot Abaddon was in the episode, with bus driver cap and...
Yes. But, separately they are both hot. Together, and, I'm gonna ride your ass, not so hot.
There, that's simple.
Yeah, I can definitely sympathize because I'm one of those people who didn't think about the implications and I immediately, once it was pointed out to me, I immediately felt guilty and regretted it.
I still think...
that's definitely an issue.
Dean always looks attractive when he's being beat up, so my issue is Dean still looks attractive. Individually, they still look hot for me. The scene itself never was hot as a whole, but Dean looks hot when he's getting beat up.
Yeah.
And when he's angry. So he just looked really hot, to be honest.
That's just that. And the thing is, he was also doing his usual thing of, you know, throwing his kind of sexuality back as a weapon because he kind of does that sometimes. He kind of
he does.
That's why you get your those little dives like, are we gonna fight? Are we gonna make out? Because I'm getting real mixed signals here. Because he's cocky. That's what that is one of his defense mechanisms to be cocky.
That's such classic Dean. That's what
It
he
is.
does when he's backed
It
up in a
is
corner.
classic Dean, and
like to show that he's not scared, but he is.
He's terrible.
And the thing, I think the thing,
she's stood there talking about hell and the things they do in hell, and he knows what they do in hell, and what she's going to do to him is what he's already been through. So he's shit scared. And he masks it up.
That, and also, I think that what makes that scene truly terrifying, and that what makes you feel like Dean is so hurt, is that she's also using his own weapon against him. Like, really, as soon as he turns it into innuendo, she throws it right back at him. You can just see how, like, traumatizing it's for him, and just, And the thing is, that scene is so deceptive.
And that Jensen was absolutely playing it perfectly, because he had this cockiness, and he had this guy, like, sexy smirk going on. But as soon as she started talking about when, like, actually possessing him and saying that he was the perfect vessel, it obviously automatically harks back to when people were saying that he was Michael's vessel. But then she starts talking about, I wonder what it would feel like to have a baby's, blood drip down your chin. And that's the most, that sentence alone is horrifying, because you don't want babies being flayed at all. But the thing is, that's obviously, it's reminding him what he did in hell. And he probably did crap like that in hell. And Jensen's portrayal was so brilliant.
I would love to have baby blood drip down my body.
Ew.
Shannon, shut up.
But I don't think it was.
You could see it in Jensen's eyes. You could totally see how scared he was getting.
Yeah, because it wasn't that it was going to happen to him. It was that she was going to possess Dean, so he would torture again, and that's one of his biggest fears.
Yeah, and also because she was like, "I'm going to make you watch. You're going to be awake for it," And that itself isn't torture. It's just torturing him, and then he would obviously be torturing others.
I felt like in that scene, whenever she started talking about it, I looked at his face, and I could see it. I could see him going back into, just for a second, reverting back to the days when, in season 4, when he was dealing with the trauma of what happened after he rose from hell. Yeah. I could see it. I could see that pain that he felt.
If people think he ever got over that, then no.
And for those that are saying, they're saying that there's chemistry. I don't think there's sexual chemistry between Dean and Abner. I think there's chemistry between the actors, that they obviously play off really well together. That you can tell that they completely match each other, and that they completely,
there's such a charge there. There really is a charge between the actors.
Yeah, there really is. And guys, as far as we're talking like sexual chemistry, we gotta understand that the whole innuendo thing really is Dean's his defense, but in reality, you can see that he's being absolutely destroyed. But she has the one thing. She has all the things that can absolutely destroy him. And it's terrifying.
That's why I think Abaddon makes the perfect villain for Dean.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can I also tell you something that I've noticed?
Yeah.
Season 9 to me has sort of become a reverse season 4.
Yes, I was thinking that the other night.
You've got Sam, who is dealing with the angelic arc, who is dealing with these angels, and then you've got Dean, who obviously has a demon villain that is meant to match him, that is written to match him. And it sort of feels like, wow, things have changed so drastically since then. Because it's just, I
have to admit, I did actually...
Interesting point. Tyler just brought up, she just said he didn't get why Dean was like, it's already dirty up there. That's Dean saying Abaddon can't fuck his brain up any more than it's already been fucked up.
Yeah.
And that was hard. That was when I broke. I was like... No.
I know. And the thing is, it was very cleverly written, that scene, because there was a lot of charge in it, but in a way it was underlying like this threat of going into Dean's body without his consent, and pretty much, and that's why we had those lines of the baby's blood down trim. It was to make you think, oh my god, this is disgusting, because it's not a nice subject. It's very dark.
Yeah.
And also, it was a reminder of what Dean actually did in hell.
Yeah,
has
and
done.
and
And
but
it
I found
finally
really interesting.
shows us what a villain Abaddon is as well. Like
Yes,
she
because
is
she's
the
the
most
best.
terrifying villain we've probably ever had in
Yes.
Supernatural.
And the thing is, it still I think terrifies Dean that he is the righteous man, this vessel, and you could kind of see that in his eyes that that nobody's talked about him like that for a while. But it kind of opens. The thing is that he is this perfect vessel, kind of opens back to the kind of myth again, and I liked that bit. I have to admit, and that he is still an important game player. That Abaddon recognizes him as being a very good. She recognizes his strength. She recognizes that he could be a really perfect soldier in a way.
Can
so it
I?
kind of nice.
Oh, sorry, Gemma.
No, it's fine. Go.
I was going to say I really have to give props to Jeremy Carver and the rest of the writers, because they are really working hard to make sure that these villains know what they're doing. Because in the past seasons, everyone was always commenting on how the villains could get out of some of the stuff that Winchesters did to them. Like, you always had people who were saying, well, why didn't demons do this? Why didn't demons do this? Or why didn't angels do this? Now you've got the writers, and they're really working hard to make sure that these villains are strong. They're making sure that these villains can make the Winchesters seem helpless. They're redefining
Can I just say,
previous villains.
Yeah, and you have a fantastic point. And as well, we're at the beginning of the season, and yet they sent the Winchesters into a situation that felt like they really couldn't win it. So we're at the beginning of the season. Normally that sort of thing comes mid-season, end of season. You think, crap, they're not going to make it out of this. They went into a situation where we thought, crap, that they really don't have the advantage here, and they wouldn't have had the advantage if it wasn't for Ezekiel.
Yeah, and I feel like we have like a sense of fear about the enemies now.
Again, it's great.
And I think it's my favorite. Another good line was like saying, "Oh, the demons," and then he's like, "Well, that's not good." That's good. And then they said, "Oh, they've got assault rifles." Well, that's not good. And I was just like, because they could just take them out from miles away. That's wonderful.
Yeah, like, why didn't the demons have all these guns before? Like, what the heck?
But that's like another point of Abaddon's ambition. She's like, it's not just the angels, it's not just the demons, it's humanity. She wants Earth. She wants to be queen.
She wants to be queen.
Yeah, under new management, that's for sure.
I can guarantee you that after the fact that after Ezekiel now, that she's going to make sure that she's able to kill herself some angels so she can take their angel blades so she can melt down bullets.
Sure. She's like, brilliant.
That's why I think she's a great villain, because you had a villain like Crowley last season who really sort of turned it all into this sort of business. And then you've got this completely new approach with this season's big bad. You've got Abaddon. She is a soldier. She is ruthless. She will do anything, and it's that ambition that drives her. It's that want to get better and to do anything that she can, and that's what she's doing. Like, she doesn't care who sees. She doesn't care who dies.
She doesn't have no consequences, nothing. She's going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Under new management.
I think will be her downfall. She is too ambitious, and in her mission, she thinks she's going to win. She thinks she's going to beat the Winchesters. She's just like every other villain that they've ever had.
You know what I'm actually really curious to see? I'm really curious to see now with all this new dynamic happening. I'm really curious to see dialogue between Crowley and Abaddon.
Yeah, and like, can I just say, this is exactly why I said that kind of Crowley's style of running the business was more kind of efficient and more kind of, it serves better to his survival, because yes, Abaddon is so ambitious and she's gonna go for it, and this is why if she crashes, she's gonna crash epically. And also, about the better villains thing, another thing I hope for is that this is gonna make, the Winchesters step it up too. Because I mean, last season when they just left Abaddon in that goddamn chair.
That was so dumb.
I have to agree with Frankie, who says it's bureaucrat versus the captain on the front lines with the troops.
Yeah,
you know, obviously Abaddon's got the support of followers because she's there with them fighting at the front, getting her hands dirty, whereas Crowley would just send out his minions and have them do the dirty work.
That's what I feel like.
Well,
that's what I feel like makes her more charismatic.
I think I think it's really interesting to see that, you know, the difference. Like if it was Crowley and Dean Bar, and you'd be like, you tell me this and I'll sit that you live. Abaddon's like, you tell me where Crowley is and I'll make sure your death is quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to agree with Mischievous Mouse. If Crowley and Abaddon decided to team up, the world would just end.
Oh my god! But I don't.
Yeah.
The thing is, Crowley is like, bitch, you burnt me. He would team up with her and then stab her in the back. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That is Crowley's style,
exactly. Can I say something? I am very, very interested in learning more about. I feel like Abaddon and her talking with demons, I sort of get the vibe that there are still going to be some demons that don't like her.
Yeah. She's just, she would just wipe out anyway.
It's the case of some demons are still terrified of Crowley for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some people got loads of shit on them.
I was really surprised about how much the demons feared him, because I always had this sneaking suspicion that they didn't really like Crowley because none of them came to his rescue when he called for it.
No, because they knew he was finally screwed basically, and that he wouldn't be able to do anything to them. They're only scared of him because he can just, you know, flick his fingers and they're dead. Whereas like,
and it really... Oh, sorry, Mapal.
I was gonna say, with demons, I think their loyalties lie with the person they're the most scared of. To be honest, so be it Lucifer, Abaddon, or Crowley, or someone.
And you've got to think, what has Crowley done to these demons that makes them so freaking afraid?
I wouldn't really know.
Because you got to think,
I know.
That entire thing, he was slowly climbing up the ladder of hell. I'm thinking that he probably killed a lot of strong demons.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Crowley's no weakling. It's just that his style of running the thing is so that he does not ever go for unnecessary bravado. He's efficient, you know?
Definitely.
That's why he's so durable.
Yeah. He's efficient.
I just find it interesting, like, that he showed a bit of, like... He did look a bit nervous when they left him, kind of thing, and then obviously he was replaying the "I just want to be loved" in his head, kind of thing. Although I do prefer the post that's going around that they played Justin Bieber to him. I prefer that. That's my headcanon. That is my headcanon now, that they basically shut the doors and played a bit of Justin Bieber to him.
And there's one more thing that I really want to know about.
What?
What the hell happened to the Knights of Hell?
I hope we get more.
That's
what I want to see. I want to see a lot of like history behind the things they introduced in season 8.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that it has something to do with the Men of Letters.
Ooh.
Like, okay, this is my theory. This is my theory. You remember when Abaddon was attacking the Men of Letters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that she was attacking the Men of Letters as a sort of revenge thing. Because I think the Men of Letters killed the Knights of Hell. And I mean they did something that completely locked them away to the point where they could never come back. And Abaddon was only able to avoid that fate because she was probably off doing something else. And I really think that Abaddon has a score to settle with the Winchesters and with the Men of Letters, and that since he is the last one, since he is probably the last one of the Knights of Hell.
Actually, you know
what
I feel like?
What?
I feel like on the point of her having something else to do, and that's how she avoided it, I feel like Abaddon is ruthless enough to double-cross her fellow knights, though.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, and also, I think that, I think that a lot of the Knights of Hell might have gone down due to the change of regime. Because basically they're supposed to be loyal to Lucifer, right? Mm-hmm. They were the angels that fell together with him. They are probably loyal to him. So, when Lucifer went down, Crowley went up, could have ganked a bunch of them.
Ooh, and I have one thing to say about Abaddon and about some things that I talk to people on our chat with. I've had a lot of people asking me. I've seen a lot of posts on Tumblr asking why Abaddon's eyes were black if she was so strong, and like, don't say anything because I want to like explain it. I don't think that the eyes necessarily focus on strength. I think it focuses on jobs in hell, like what you do in hell. And I have this headcanon about all the demons and what happens with them. You've got the black-eyed demons. They are soldiers. They fight, and they are basically foot soldiers. And the Knights of Hell, their eyes were black because they were the strongest soldiers. They led the soldiers into fighting. And then you had then you had the white-eyed angels, who were angels that sort of, to me, they were like the business side. You had Lilith, who ran the Crossroads demons and got souls guaranteed to go down into hell. And then you had the white-eyed demon like Alistair, who trained these new demons to torture and gave deals to people so that eventually they would turn themselves into demons. And then you have the yellow-eyed demon, the general of hell. They were the ones who they were very powerful. And to me, I feel like most of the general, that there was more than just Azazel as a yellow-eyed demon. I think that there were other generals of hell that were most likely killed by angels, and that Azazel was the last one.
I think, I do agree that I think Azazel was possibly a knight of hell.
You know what I think, though?
Yeah.
What?
I think that possibly the eye color has to do with your alignment. Like, the more you support Lucifer, the blacker your eyes are. And Azazel was sort of independent, so his eyes were yellow.
No, Azazel wasn't independent. Azazel was completely aligned with Lucifer. His entire plot was towards Lucifer.
Yeah, and also, I do think that it does have to do with like your type of employment, like Shannon said, because if we look even at the beginning of the series, generally Crossroads Demon had red eyes. Whether they were head honchos or whether they were just pawns, they always had red eyes.
And
wait.
And also, Crowley worked his way up and became the strongest demon in hell, and his eyes never change. It depends on their job. It doesn't depend on how strong they are. You can probably have worked a black-eyed demon could probably work themselves up to be just as strong as Azazel.
It depends on what powers you have as well, and like what you do, kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, so it's 20:58, by the way. So we're in the second hour.
Oh, and
I know I've got so much.
My headcanon about the generals of hell, I will be making a very long post about it on my blog after this thing, so y'all should go read it because it'll be awesome.
Right.
Oh, now
it's fandom news.
Yeah.
Which is going to take a while.
Yeah, this is quite a mess. I'm gonna wake up again now. I've sort of been sat listening to you talk. Oh, okay. Can we do the sneak peek first and get this done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Get this over with.
Because everybody should know that I've basically been asking everyone for the last 3 days, where the hell's the sneak peek? We normally get it on a Thursday. We normally get it on a Thursday. But why haven't we got it on a Thursday? Okay, I'm gonna have to am I gonna have to unmute my live stream for this?
If you want to watch it through there, they did post a YouTube link in our Skype chat somewhere. If you want to go get it,
I'm just gonna
mute
watch
myself.
it on the live stream, and I'm just gonna unmute myself.
Okay, well, you guys are gonna have to be quiet. Remember, we have like a 30-second lag.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys when it's done.
Okay, off we go.
Damn. You here? Hey. Morning. You been outside already? Yeah. Woke up, went for a run, beautiful sunrise. Anyways, cleaned up, went and got breakfast.
When the stream initializes, we should be back up again. I think my laptop is epically overheating, and that's what happened there. So, oops.
Oh dear.
Okay, so we're probably not going to ever be able to watch a video while we do this.
No. Lesson to be learned. No.
It's normally fine. I've had it sat on the sofa, and it's
Yeah, it probably.
Oh, hello everyone.
Sorry guys. The Mapal's laptop started to overheat, which is what happened. So
its bandwidth went and the CPU went through the roof, and yeah, it went pretty bad. So, but we're back.
Technology just decided to be annoying.
Okay, so I'm going to start over what I was saying. Everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone here has seen The Kiss, because you couldn't have gone on Tumblr when the episode was previewed without seeing The Kiss and its aftermath. And its aftermath was probably some of the worst wank that I've seen come out of this fandom in a long time.
Yep.
Yes.
I have seen people threaten to boycott the episode. I have seen people sending, Gemma has told me that people have sent death threats to the actress, and it has really made me kind of angry and disappointed. Because first of all, I'm going to say this now, we have no idea what this kiss is going to look like. We have no idea if Castiel even wants this kiss to happen. We have no idea what's happening. And suddenly, just because Castiel is kissing a female character, then it is the end of the fucking world.
Nicely put.
And I'm going to say this right now. I personally think priorities are a little fucked up, because people would much rather Castiel get almost fatally wounded than have him kiss a girl. So that's just what I was saying. And now I'm going to go into a tangent-y sort of thing. There was a lot of people who were disappointed in the kiss, and it's perfectly okay for them to be disappointed. It was people who were saying, I know a lot of asexual people were offended, and it was a really sad thing. Oh, wow. Did anyone else hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. It's gone now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think my headphones fucked up for a second, but they're fine now.
Okay. And I can see why they would be offended, because towards a lot of asexual people, Castiel was the representation of them that they got on the show, and it gets to the point where you have to ask yourself, was it canon? Was any of that canon? Was Cass being asexual really canon? And considering what we've seen, it wasn't. It was an interpretation made by a lot of people. And when you make an interpretation and it's wrong, it's a disappointing thing. And what really matters is what you do with that disappointment. Do you go and make a hateful post towards an actress who is just doing her job? Do you go and yell at writers who are doing their job? Do you kick and you scream because your interpretation was wrong?
Shannon, can I just interrupt you? Sorry to interrupt you there. Just you guys, I know there's a lot of people some people actually worse and angrier, saying there is no boycott, it was all a rumor and everything like that. I saw boycott posts. It was pretty much early on this week when the preview, actually it was after the episode. I did actually see people saying we should boycott the episode. So there were posts, but I think generally the people who turn around and flash back at those posts have then made the situation a bit worse. But yeah, there were actually people keep on saying and shouting and screaming, there was no boycott, and I do realise that we as a Destiny Elf shippers are a bit upset with these people who are going to boycott them because they've kind of let the side down really as a fandom. But yes, there were
posts. I know there's no boycott, but there were posts
there
going.
were.
And we're not
obviously,
just talking
I
about
think it's
Marked
died
with
down
Grace's.
a bit.
Yeah, we're not just talking about Marked with
Yeah,
Grace's
it's
post.
not- yeah.
I know she cleared that up, but I did see a massive boycott post on my dash
and
at some point.
it
It didn't
wasn't-
have many notes, but it was going around. So
There was and it was actually it was like pretty much hours after the episode aired. I think it was on the Wednesday I saw it, and I was just like, why the hell? But I think generally because I think a lot of people were upset by these people who were going to boycott, that it just all got a bit like shouty on one side, shouty on another side. Why are you boycotting? But the thing is, actually, some people were generally going to be upset by by Cass and April kissing, and they didn't want to trigger themselves by saying it. And I can understand that. You don't go and poke your finger in the fire if you're going to burn yourself.
Yeah.
And they were actually being very responsible and saying, well, I just want to keep away from it at the moment. I mean, my personal opinion is that you have to give the episode the benefit of the doubt. We only got a 30-second preview at the end of the episode, and that wasn't enough to determine the story arc of the whole episode.
Yeah, and can I just say that, like, you go and jump.
And and then obviously those photos were released, and it shows a lot more like development of the plot, considering this love interest is stabbing Cass. Funny how it can quickly change, Yeah. And so I think a lot of things. I think sometimes we have to kind of just take it because we all love Cass so much, and we want to make sure it's done right. This, him being a human, that we sometimes get a bit overheated and a bit overpassionate about things. Yeah. But it's now looking really good that 9-3 is going to be a really good episode.
Can I go on my
and I think we've just got to. Yeah, and I think we've just got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Can I just say for a second that, like, I made a post about this also, and I just have to say, because, like, I know several people who are not eager to see the kiss, or possibly not even going to watch the episode, who are perfectly nice about it, who are just doing it for themselves, and, like, you are absolutely entitled to your emotions and your reaction. If you're feeling that a TV show is damaging you in a way that it shouldn't emotionally, if it's bad for your mental health, you are 100% entitled and should take care of yourself first, and you don't owe anyone any damn thing. Don't you ever, if someone doesn't watch that episode, tell them they're quote-unquote not a real fan or anything like that, because it's like, look, fuck you. Some people in the fandom haven't seen Bloody Mary because they're too scared to watch it, and this is no different.
I can't watch
if someone can't handle it, it's they have to make it work for themselves, and they have to think of themselves first. And then we'll, of course, generally give it a benefit of the doubt is a good thing, because honestly, with the whole revealed stabbing, it reminds me a little bit of a maximized Dean and Ellie kiss, remember last season?
Yeah, totally.
Because there was such a strong reaction to that goddamn promo shot, and then bam, like, in the series, it was like Dean wasn't even into it, and it was like this 1 second, and
what I said? I said, well, that's why she's only in one episode, because I'm thinking, not many people get to stab a Winchester and get away with it. Mabel?
Right. Sorry. Okay. On the boycott thing, just to clear that up, I know Marked with Grace made a post, and it wasn't an organised boycott, and that has been cleared up, and that is clear, good, fine, that's great. Not everything is always tagged on Tumblr. I was on my dashboard, and I follow a few people, well, quite a lot of people, and, a few posts with not many notes, so these are just casual blogs that don't have many followers, maybe don't have many reblogs. They were saying about the boycott. So just because you haven't seen it in the tags, just because you haven't seen it, the fandom is a really big place. These things were going around.
And just because it's not organised.
Yeah, this mentality was going around. It wasn't an organised boycott. It wasn't, this big organised rampage, but it was happening. It was a mentality that was going around. So the problem is, right, sorry, I'm going to get a little bit angry here. Because people are sat there saying, "Oh, you're shaming people who don't want to watch the episode."
No.
Well, how about the people who are now shaming other people who want to watch the episode and who don't mind it? Because I have been insulted for being totally fine with Cass kissing a girl. So it works both ways here. We are not shaming anyone.
Yeah.
It's perfectly okay to not watch something if you are not comfortable with it.
I think
there's many things I won't watch. I probably will not watch the kiss scene because on-screen public displays of affection piss me off and I don't like watching them. But, you know...
the thing is, what we're highlighting here is obviously, yes, there wasn't an organised thing, but it was the behaviour that we're highlighting here, that some people who are being, like, because I saw some really vile, disgusting posts going around about the characters, actually, and sometimes about the actress, and sometimes about this boycott. It's not about whether you decide to watch it or not, or everything. It's about fandom behaviour and how that is going to be perceived by the powers that be. If we, about especially those, and the thing is, it wasn't on Twitter about the hate. Actually, some of the hate I was seeing was on Tumblr, and it wasn't tagged. But yes, we need to be aware of our behaviour and how that looks like, because we're the first ones. I think there's some people that are the first ones to jump on the, the other side of the fandom, or like the really stringent parts. But I think, some of the stuff I've seen this week is just, it's not the behaviour that we really want in this fandom, because we're family. We're all meant to be together, supporting each other. And like last season, we didn't really have a lot of Misha. And, we were so pleased when he got season regular. And this is what happens on his first, full episode. Like, second full episode. But, like this episode that's going to be quite central about him. And this is how some people are behaving. And it's a minority. It's a very small minority of people that are behaving this. But it's tarnishing everybody with the same brush. And I think that's why we're all so angry about it. Those who are saying there's no boycott, those who are saying there is. But, I think that's why we're getting so angry about it. Because out there is a small minority that want to cause trouble every time something like this happens. And there's a small minority out there who do this disgusting stuff. When the majority of us are like, why the hell would you do that? Even if you do or not, or don't want to watch that, it's kind of much like, why? So...
Okay, Tiger Lily, I'm sorry, I've had enough. Tiger Lily, please stop. We support
guys,
every
I think we need
single
to...
shipper in the fandom. We support them. And seriously, this has gone on too far.
I'm actually partial Winslet shipper. I'm also a Dean Joe, Dean Bella. There's quite a lot of ships I support, so I take that quite.
Guys, I do think we should get moving with the agenda because there's a lot of stuff. So let's just get let's just get on with it.
It's a hot topic. Basically, what we're saying is, if you don't want to watch the episode because it could be triggering towards you, or because you just don't want to watch it, that's perfectly okay. But what we're trying to say is, it gets to the point where you need to really think about what you're typing. You need to think about what you're posting, because they can have a lot more effect than you really believe.
Yeah, because basically, look, when
it's
we're in
minority.
fandom, the thing is, when we're in fandom, we're in a public place. Don't do things that you wouldn't do in a public place in fandom, just please.
And also, I've got a massive big sign. Basically, don't feed the trolls. There's a small
don't
minority.
feed the trolls.
Don't feed them, because they want us to get up and all like this. They want that, because then they can turn around and say, "Oh, the guys that ship Dean and Cass are nuts." That's what they want us to say. That they're not responsible. They're not sensible. They're not, nice people. That's what they want. So just don't feed them. If you don't want to watch it, fine. If you do want to watch it, great. Let's just go forward and enjoy the season, because I really do think we've got a high actuality of Dean and Cass getting together. So let's not spoil it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to some...
Next subject, yes.
Let's talk about Charlie being back in 804.
Oh, God, so excited. Because I do believe we have some promo shots from 804. Mapal, do you have them?
Sorry, what was that?
The promo shots from, not 804, promo shots from 904. Do you think you should have them?
I have 903 and 904. Which ones do you want?
Yeah, I think since we're discussing Charlie, maybe show some 904 right now.
Okay, I'll get it up.
But yeah, we've known this for a while now that Charlie's going to be back, but it's exciting to see her, of course. We know the general outline of the episode, and that's going to be sort of the Wizard of Oz themed, and it's just, I'm so excited for that episode, because like we said last time, it's either gonna be absolutely epic or absolutely terrible. There's kind of no in between. And that's just, I just hope it comes out really, really cool.
I feel so weird about this episode.
I know, right?
Like, I'm glad that Charlie's gonna be in it, but I'm also I feel weird because there is actually that the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy Gale is real, and I'm just like, to me, it feels so unsupernatural to me.
It is. I am totally like actually acknowledging something that is fictional is real in a fictional It kind of hurts my head when I try and think about it.
Honestly, what I don't think they're really taking any kind of different angle with this but like, look, what truth is that they talk about they use a lot of urban legends, right? Well, a fairy tale is just your urban legend that was a little reworked and written down.
Honest, they did an episode where hello, French mistake. Really, that's the height of surreal.
Yeah, and like I think they can really make it work. I think it can be totally amazing.
I feel like it's going to be a cool episode to see, but I feel like it's just giving me Once Upon a Time vibes. Like because...
I have to admit,
I honestly think they're gonna give a different angle. I think they are going to really secularize it, secularize it, make it all
a bit more urbanized,
very real life like,
Yes, like a bit more like
urbanize it, exactly.
Yeah, and I think I'm really sorry. I love Charlie. I love her played very bright. I love everything Charlie, but I am really excited about the garage and the cars and the motorbikes because I am that kind of person. I'm a petrol head. This is like porn to me, having all those garages.
Yes, we have.
And the cars and the
baby.
Excuse me, English people. What's a garage?
It's what you put your car in.
Do you mean a garage?
Oh, shut up.
Hey, we call them garages here, right?
Garage. Okay, I have a question though. This episode, who is the woman? Okay, I'll show you. I will show you in a succession of images. Is it Dorothy?
That has to be Dorothy.
That's Dorothy.
That's probably Dorothy.
This picture, she is in the wall. Okay, she's in the wall. I saved these pictures. Then I think Dean gets her, out of the wall, and she's on the floor, and it looks like he's cut her out, and there's some blue
That's
goo.
her hand.
And then later on, there's a picture.
That freaked me out when I first saw her.
Yeah, and then there's a picture of her with a blanket round her. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, excuse me, if I just fallen out of a wall, I'd want a blanket.
Yeah, but
I've been shot.
I
want a blanket.
Why was she in a wall?
Because obviously she's bled through the existence planes that make Oz real.
Yeah.
But I love the interview that Jansen and Jared gave, where they're basically saying that, Dorothy falls through the wall and like sounds like, oh cool, this has done something new, and Jean's still trying to process that Oz is real, and Charlie's like, well, hello there to Dorothy, and I'm like, yes, this is going to be a brilliant episode. This is going to be a fantastic episode. So yeah, I can't wait for it now.
Okay, I've got two theories here. Maybe they found a portal in the bunker and she's in cold storage.
What are you doing to
apparently they were trapped.
What are you doing?
Apparently in the episode summary it says they were trapped. And I've heard so many things, because I've also heard Charlie hacks a computer and it puts them into Oz.
Yeah.
I'm just...
She does hack a computer. There's an ancient computer, and they need to hack it, and that's why they call Charlie. Charlie's such a Winchester when she's wearing plaid. Oh my god. Plaid. Yeah, pronounced incorrectly. Anyways.
He looks a bit pissed there. He looks a bit angry. He's got his angry face on.
Yeah, why is he doing that?
I don't even know.
Wait and see.
She's holding a red shoe. Was she trying to go like, there's no place like home?
It's a red stiletto. It's not a red... Yeah. But yeah, I'm just so excited about the garage. It actually hurts. But I love that plaid. I think I saw it. It's just so...
It's
lush.
awesome. So,
and I can't wait for more kind of like bromance between Dean and Charlie, like best mates kind of talk.
Oh, that is fabulous. Yes.
Maybe he'll talk to her about, because obviously this is going to be post the episode where Cass goes away, and maybe they'll talk, a bit more about Dean's feelings and how he's feeling about that. And in the same way, it'll still be like, we're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. But yeah, so I think it's going to be an interesting episode, but yeah, I'm still more... Look at those cars! Just look at them! They had a Model T, I think there's a Model T, There's a Corvette, and I'm like, Dean is just gonna go so nuts, and then I realize that he's got like a place for his baby. It's just gonna be amazing, and I'm so excited about all these new rooms, the men of that is. I'm just getting really excited because apparently they're getting
yeah, apparently some
there's a kitchen
pictures.
or something.
Yeah, but the bloody TV won't load, so I can't get the pictures.
So I'm really excited about all these different like rooms, and it's you know.
Because they did mention, I think in before the season started, I think it was a Carver interview or someone from TPTV. They said that they were going to be finding a lot of new rooms in the bunker, and that's awesome.
And the thing is, I just love that it's a Charlie episode because Charlie is so well rounded that you can have these quirky little episodes like LARP and the Real Girl, where it's slightly silly. But then she is very much like a sister, and she gets the guys to really open up with her. And I'm intrigued to see whether, because she's very perceptive, she realizes when things are wrong, or there's a tension, or there's a different vibe. And I'm wondering if she's going to sense the different vibe with Sam.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Got like 30 minutes. We should probably start moving through these topics.
Yeah.
Okay. While we're doing that, I'm also going to show the 903 pictures because we have.
We need to see. Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about, I have seen posts about this, and I hope it's true, but I've also seen posts against it, so you guys tell me if it's true. Jensen Ackles at some convention, it's true? He confirmed at a convention that Dean was supposed to say, I love you. It was written in the script to say, I love you, but, this is on 8/17 during the crypt scene, he was supposed to say, I love you, but he thought that it was out of character for Dean, which I personally
agree.
And that he changed it to "we're family."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
So, what do you guys? So, let's.
I think it's a lovely sentiment, and I think just because it wasn't said doesn't necessarily mean that Dean doesn't feel it. But I think it was. I'm sorry. Blue steel's just come up on my computer and I can't focus. So I think it was totally out of character and also the wrong time for him to say it, because it would be really. I think when Dean actually needs to say it, Cass needs to be fully functional of his mind, and back then he really wasn't. So something that important for Dean to admit, because he doesn't really ever say "I love you," you know, for him to say that,
and also really, so it was. Dean needs to not be on the brink of being murdered by the person he's saying it to, and also, I stand by my pretty much. By my point of view that I gained after watching 8/17 is that I need you in that situation was so much more impactful than I love you could ever be. So I am completely pleased with the lines in that. I really did believe when they said it last season that they had an "I love you" there, because it was a line that really seemed like it could have been there. But that got taken away. And honestly, my position stays the same. The "I love you" wouldn't really have done all that much, considering how much "I need you" did.
Yeah,
like if people don't acknowledge how much "I need you" did, they're just like not looking,
and Caroline said it from this week's episode. I'm not with the whole love thing. But Dean actually say it's going to be a big thing, and I agree with Jensen. It would have been completely out of character to say it when Cass was under mind control. I think if Dean would ever really want to say it, he would want to say it when Cass is within his own, within his own mind. It would be massive, and it's going to be a massive thing. So, but the wording, I think the wording was better, to say that your family, say that we need, it is love. He is saying it is loving. That is the Winchester way of saying love. So in a way, it was still said, but just not in the way you kind of think. And Jensen was completely right, but it does show the fact that
when it comes to Dean. He's really always
honestly,
right.
yes. And this is why it's
Dean
so
is my
great.
baby.
Yeah,
He's my
and
baby.
this is why it's so great to see him talk. I mean, he talked about that on a conventional, right? And he wasn't. I haven't seen a video or anything, but it didn't seem like he was like uncomfortable out of his mind or anything.
I was like, oh, you people who say he's not comfortable, oh, you people that say he's homophobic, ha. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's clearly he understands his character probably better than some of the writers because he's been there since day one. But doesn't necessarily mean that he's not with it. I think bring it. Right.
And, like, I hear a lot of people, they say that, well, given some of the other stuff he said, because, I mean, let's face it, Jensen isn't perfect. He has said some pretty bad things.
Uneducated stuff.
Yeah, but speaking as someone who lives in the South, which is where Jensen predominantly grew up, it's not a hatred sort of thing. It's not an anger sort of thing.
Ignorance.
It's an ignorant sort of thing. Like my mother, she is always my prime example when talking about ignorance.
Sorry.
She is very. She basically talks a lot like Dean. She says things. She has these sets of beliefs, and when she talks, and she tries to say things, it comes off as her being really offensive because a lot of the time she just doesn't know how to say it.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it is to do with education, and I think also a lot of things is, but I think Jensen's a pretty intelligent guy that because maybe he doesn't really fully understand it, and I think that's why he doesn't really comment much on it, and I think that's possibly a sensible way to be, because you don't open your gob and let anything come out that you think might offend people if you don't truly understand it, and I think a lot of it is with education and ignorance. So yeah,
a lot of it can have to do with area
your upbringing.
It's something that you've got. That Jensen's not perfect. He never says perfect things. No one ever says perfect things.
But that's
I can say some
human.
things. I've seen things that Jared said that can be taken as sort of offensive.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're human. We all have our flaws. We all have our ways and it comes from our being brought up, and but the way we've been brought up and the way that the people that we've been surrounded with and the ideals that we've been surrounded with.
And
so,
we're not saying that you guys shouldn't feel offended at things that he has said. Like,
yeah, God no.
Gosh, seriously. Sometimes
I want to slap the boy.
Yeah, it's
and I love him.
That's just my sort of opinion as to why Jensen says these sort of things. It comes from the fact that he's really just. I feel like he really doesn't have this understanding. I'm not saying that's why. I don't know Jensen as a person. I'm just saying that it would make a lot of sense given where he grew up, his upbringing, some of the things that I've heard, like what Dee says, his dad's conservative. It's just sort of like that's.
I think
what I think
possibly, yeah. But the thing is, I think obviously Jensen 10 years ago when he came from Texas, but now he's lived in Hollywood. He lives in LA. He's got a wife. He's got a really good friend who's very liberal, i.e. Misha. The thing is, you get ideals of your parents, and then you choose your own as an adult, and you begin to learn more. So
seriously, guys, if you could have seen me in middle school.
I know. And so you choose your own ideals, and I think obviously. Jensen is an adult now, and he's choosing his own ideas and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Next subject.
Okay,
yes.
Next subject. Let's look. We've got.
Oh God, it's a bad one.
Supernatural going on hiatus from December 3rd to January 17th.
I remember Caleb sent
no episodes.
When we found this out, Caleb was like, "Can you believe Supernatural's going on a hiatus in December?" And I was like, "Caleb,
it normally does.
It normally does. What are you freaking out about?
Where
are you?"
Caleb, where are you, darling?
I'm right here.
Well, then speak, child.
You've spoken to.
Yeah, but like, remember when you were talking to me and like I was just, you had this like angry sort of vibe from it, and I was just like, Caleb, it happens every year.
It's over a month though.
We just got it though.
It's like 6
we
weeks.
just got it and it's going for over a month.
The thing is,
I just got reminded. Speaking of
get
months and time lengths, can I just say that Profound Radio has been on the air for 8 months since yesterday.
Woo! Woohoo! I'm just like really happy because I'm getting an episode a couple of days after my birthday, and last year I didn't. So, because the thing is, what I'm worried about, didn't we have like 3 or 4 episodes, then a hiatus, then a little more, and then a hiatus, and then another hiatus? I'm sure we're getting less hiatuses than last year. But obviously this year, it's just going to be bigger. I mean, I don't know what the hell they do for Christmas over in America. Do you just, like, shut down everything and watch Christmas specials for a whole month?
Okay, Christmas in America is... It's sort of... I'll explain it. Everyone, when it gets really close to Christmas in America, you have a bunch of mothers rushing to Walmart, buying things, coming home, wrapping everything, putting it under the tree, and then you've got kids staying up all night trying to see Santa Claus, and then you wake up and you open presents and you play with your presents, and there's no family stuff. That's how my Christmases go.
So you do that for 6 weeks?
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
My family is a little different. We have a family tradition of watching A Christmas Story every Christmas. And we don't actually celebrate Christmas because my family thinks they're Jewish. So
Thanks. It's a possibility.
They think they're Jewish.
Yeah, they're not really Jewish at all, but we celebrate
Versatile.
Jewish holidays for some reason because why not? Why not?
Okay.
So we light candles. We light candles, and we have like Hanukkah stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta get back on
We do
topic.
have to get back on
Yeah,
topic.
back on topic.
Curtis
Oh my god.
Armstrong returns as Metatron, and I'm sure most people here
Okay.
have seen the pictures.
The little shit is
I am so excited.
I am so annoyed. I'm like, Ezekiel? And the thing is, it's either Metatron is manipulating Ezekiel, and I'm like, no, big fat no.
Oh, you know what's probably
No.
really sad? Oh, what if Ezekiel really is a good guy at heart, but
Yeah.
as an angel, he misses heaven so much? What if Metatron is lying to him and saying that if he does this thing, that he's going to let Ezekiel go home, but he's really not going to?
You know, it's like, yeah, like, can you imagine Ezekiel being a bit like Cass and being kind of led astray by Metatron and just...
Yeah. Because Ezekiel doesn't have to be a bad guy in any sense for Metatron to manipulate him. That's what Metatron does. And
she's
then
gonna
again-
be painful.
And also, literally no one except for Cass and Metatron saw what happened in that damn office. So,
Yeah,
like,
well-
he's completely unaware.
And also, can I just say, like, how, like, small does Curtis look next to Jared?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's hilarious. I mean,
Like, little Metatron! Why don't you just pick him up and throw him in a tip?
tiny baby Metatron.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but y'all both did those collective, like, sighs, and it was the most hilarious thing. Okay. I'm very excited about Metatron coming back because I really, really love his character. I love how he is a dick. I love how, and I love the fact that he's most likely going to get killed. And and honestly, I really like the actor who plays Metatron. I think he does a really good job.
So slimy,
Yeah, he does a
isn't
great
he? He's
job.
just like, can I just tell you my headcanon as to who
Yeah.
will kill Metatron? I think it's gonna be Dean kills
I
Metatron.
think it's going to be Dean.
I really
Revenge
want
with
Cass to
boyfriend.
kill Metatron. I really want Cass to take a fucking.
I think it might
stab
be
it in his
Dean
Either
with
one
Cass
works.
nearby or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want Dean to kill him and say that's for Cass.
But no, I can see why.
You hit my
That'd
boyfriend, you
be
died.
good, but I really want Cass to do that because I
Yeah.
feel like Cass has much more of a score to settle with Metatron.
See, but I don't want Cass to because he's already killed so many angels. And like it's that kind of like thing of like he's hurt heaven so much and like it messes with his head every time he kind of kills an angel. So Dean, like you hurt my family, you hurt my angel.
You guys, Pat just brought up something.
Ooh,
I hope they retrieve Cass's grace before they kill him. What if they do get What if they kill him and they get Cass's grace, but
and then Cass doesn't want it.
yeah, and then Cass
That's been my
doesn't want it?
theory. No,
Like,
that's been my theory since the end of season 8. Ah.
Yeah, and then, like, what if he keeps it around his neck? Like, what if he keeps his grace around his neck? Because obviously that's a
No,
part of him
Shannon,
that's never
Shannon,
to let go.
Shannon.
Gives it to
What if
Dean,
he gives
gives
it
it
to
to
Dean? What if he gives it to Dean and Dean wears it around his neck? Because Cass knows that his grace will always be safe with Dean.
That's very
You're all
fanfic, but
reminding me of the Little Mermaid right now. It's like Cass is the Little Mermaid and his voice got taken away. Metatron is Ursula.
I want to happen, but I can see that there's a lot of other theories too. Like a lot of people, like Black Eye says, thought it was used up in the spell, which would be really.
I think it probably was.
Yeah,
I think
It
you
would.
know what
It
would be
makes
really
sense.
sad? The thing is, I think it'd be really sad that like if they could get the angels all back to heaven, and the only one that can't go back is Cass. Think about it. Oh. But then Cass is like, well, screw you, heaven. I've got a really good-looking boyfriend and a moose as a brother-in-law. Ta-da.
Okay, now we gotta start going through because we've got
Yes,
20 minutes until
Oh,
the
God.
medic show starts.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Now,
Episode 9.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should go on with the 9:05 press release right now.
Yeah, it's Dog Dean afternoon.
Yeah,
Doggy Dean Little.
While investigating. Oh, sorry, Gemma. Do you want to read it?
Well, yes, if you want, it's fine.
You can read it. It's fine.
While investigating 2 bizarre murders, Sam and Dean realize there was an eyewitness to both gruesome deaths, a German Shepherd. Anxious to find out if they are dealing with a witch, a skinwalker, or other supernatural monsters, the guys look up a spell that could let Dean communicate with the dog. Unfortunately, the spell comes with side effects that no one saw coming. Tim Andrew directed the episode, written by Eric Carmelo and Nicole Snyder.
Who here is hoping that they start the episode with Dean giving and Eliza Thornberry
Oh my god, I haven't heard of the Thornberries.
Hope Jared, I hope Sam turns into a dog.
Oh god.
Like, what if that's the, like, sort of unintended consequence? What if Jared has to turn into the dog until they find a way to reverse the spell?
Actually, no, wait a minute. The thing is, it says comes out with consequences, so he could communicate with the dog. What happens if it comes out like what women want? That he can hear everybody's thoughts? That would be a dog. All the
Every dog thoughts.
Or whatever, and so maybe, like, it goes a bit wrong. Instead of communicating with one, like, dog, he can communicate with them all, and he can hear all their thoughts, like have some really random ones, like, oh my god, it's a stick, and then, like, the next one is like,
squirrel.
I shouldn't. Oh, I gotta lick my balls. That kind of thing.
Oh god.
I am kissing you, and I just licked my butt. That kind of thing.
I feel like after that episode, I'll never be able to look at my dog, who is currently sleeping beside me, again.
So I'm kind of, and I think Jensen, because he's such a good
Comedian?
Yes. And also I love the fact that the guys are looking up spells. Oh, it just opens that door, man, that is more.
Yeah, but when I think about that episode is that, honestly, like, this season so far is giving me that whole vibe of them, like, tackling things that could absolutely not work but could also be brilliant, because it kind of makes me think of the Wizard of Oz episode too. I mean, come on, it's such a it's so it's so brave,
Yeah, they're really taking a lot. To me, this is the season where they're taking a lot of risks and they're doing a lot of new things, and it's exciting, and it also kind of makes me sad because I know there's going to be, because it makes me feel like there is going to be episodes this season that are just not going to be very good. I'm just, it's so interesting because they're really, really making sure that we know the scope. Like, we know, like, they're showing that a lot of stuff that people have thought of on Tumblr, a lot of stuff that people have just thought of is actually possible, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so cool. And I love how you've got, you're going to have the Wizard of Oz in one episode, Eliza Thornberry Dean in one episode. Next, I'm thinking we're probably going to see fucking Cinderella and the Fairy Godmothers.
If that is the case, it's Dean Winters, the actual Disney princess. A musical episode has to happen.
Please,
I'm sorry, it has to happen.
Oh,
but I would sell a kidney for that.
Yes, I'm sorry, but if they could insert a fully choreographed musical number in the middle of an episode of American Horror Story, they can do that for Supernatural.
Yeah, and excuse me, they could totally do the time warp kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
a haunted showing of,
got beat
Rocky
up.
Horror Show.
I nearly got beat up for dancing the time warp in Tesco. Was it yesterday? No, it was Asda, and I nearly got beat up. Yeah, you were beating me up. You beat me.
Anyways, next subject.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay,
next subject is we now know the names of Episode 10 will be called Road Trip, Episode 11 will be called Firstborn, and finally 12 will be called Sharp Teeth.
And these are not Twilight books, people.
I really hope that Sharp Teeth includes Leviathan.
I really hope Firstborn refers to, like, first made angels, like maybe Lucifer, because if I am correct, he was like made first, or something to do with that. Not babies, but like
isn't Abaddon like the first one of the first fallen that Lucifer chose to be?
Either that or like something with Lucifer.
I'm hoping for something a little bit similar. Dean's the firstborn.
Yeah, Dean's the firstborn. It could be they've got a flashback episode, haven't we?
That.
Oh, guys, SCDC fan actually sent me something that I really want to just
go
people about. There is this new blog that I recently found out about, and he just reminded me. It's called SPN Anti-Bullying. Given some of the stuff that's happened, I think that it's a very relevant blog.
It is.
It's basically a group of people that go around and they look at they look at different types of bullying. They look at a lot of different things that happen in the fandom that could be considered bullying, and then they sort of they display it, and they don't display names. They don't do anything like that. It's just they show you what bullying looks like. They tell you to stop. It's just it's a really good blog, and I'm going to post a link to it in the on our blog. I'm going to just I'm losing my train of thought and I'm rambling.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Bullying. Obviously, it's you might not necessarily think it's bullying, but they're showing you what it might be.
That it really can be. Yes. So I am going to send it in, and if any of you guys have said it in the chat and I missed it, then I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I think D said it, and D, I'm sorry that I didn't see it. So, there's that.
Okay.
And now let's go back to our regular schedule. I'm sorry for interrupting.
And
so I think we're fan questions now, are we?
Yeah, I think we have an interesting tidbit. I think I got it from Spoiler TV about Carver commenting on whether there will be love interests for Sam or Dean this season. And Carver's comment on the topic was, I think you're going to see a little bit of everything. I mean, I can't quite comment on everything down the line here, but as far as the boys are concerned, there's not a lot of time for romance, at least here in the early going, which is reasonable and vague.
Yeah, it's sort of, I'm really hoping that they write it really well, and I'm really worried. Like, it's the entire love interest thing. Whenever I hear love interest and supernatural in the same sentence, it always makes me very apprehensive.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, they have kind of screwed it up before with all the little flings but female characters dying all the time, same thing. But I think they're really handling it much better right now. And
I'm not going to say anything because I really don't know, because as you said, it's really vague. I'm excited to see how they try and handle something like this. It's not diminishing my hope for Destiel in any way. So if you guys feel like it is, I'm not diminished at all. I'm very excited to see what happens with Castiel and his love interest. I'm very excited to see what happens with Dean and Castiel's love interest. The only thing that I am afraid of is that something bad will happen to this female love interest, and she will get dehumanized to the point where she really was just a plot device, and I don't want that to happen.
Honestly, I don't think that in the proper sense Castiel even has a love interest. Is that people keep referring to female characters he encounters as love interests, but they're not really love interests.
The thing is, these things raise good questions, because obviously I don't really know if anything particularly goes down in episode 3. We know, apart from the fact that she's stabbing him, so that doesn't look very romantic. It just raises the question, if Cass doesn't have the sex in episode 3, and Misha said that he has sex with a person, am I going too far in my head to say that might necessarily...
Let's just think our happy headcanon here.
Just thinking, if he's not having sex in season 3 because episode 3 because he's getting stabbed, and he's having sex with a person.
I also think that they could have said has sex, just because look, if they start making out and then Cass gets stabbed, I think that in spoilers they would have still called that having sex, because they can't spoil that he gets stabbed. Yeah. They would just need to say that there's gonna be a bed scene. So we don't really know how that ends. That could literally be it.
Well, somebody gets penetrated with a knife.
Yeah, I mean, somebody got penetrated.
With an angel blade.
Oh, quickly.
Okay.
Because we've only got.
Now,
Okay.
Can I just do some quick profound radio stuff and stuff?
Yep.
Really quick.
Okay.
Firstly, if you go to our website at the minute, it has been revamped again to make way for our brand new shows that are coming on. We have the Profound Radio Profit Hour is coming on straight after us, and those fantastic guys are going to be on for possibly 2 hours, I believe, if they can manage it. Then also, our lovely Kaleb here is helping to run the Wednesday shows, which will be starting this Wednesday. So yeah,
I love Caleb's addition to that. It was so thought-provoking and just...
Okay, and also if you go to the website, like I say, it has been revamped. If you go there now, it'll currently, it gives you a different landing page where you can choose to go to the stream, because we're streaming, or you can go straight to the website. If you go to the website, we now actually have a chat box. And you can go on the chat box and chat with us.
I got so excited when I saw the chat box, guys. I'm serious.
We have a chat box. Just remember, we are monitoring hate in there. If you do post hate, you will get IP banned, and I will have your IP address. So don't be stupid. Don't post hate. But otherwise, chat away. We will be hanging around in there sometimes, so go do that. Also, Hunters International, before anyone asks, we have been super busy. I've had a really rough couple of weeks. But we are looking through the applications and we will get you sorted. And to anyone who applied to be a host and hasn't heard back yet, you'll be hearing back this week. I still have one more spot to fill, so I'm just trying to decide on the last person. So you will hear back, don't worry people, and I think that is all my business wrapped up in like 2 minutes. Speedy. I'm done.
Yeah, okay, so we're done with that. What else? There was a Carver interview on Entertainment Weekly, and obviously we're not gonna read you the whole interview, but here's the basic gist. He did not comment, he said he will not comment on the particular mechanics of angelic possession and Sam's lack of awareness about said possession as of yet, because he said that they're gonna address that on the show, obviously, so he won't say anything. Then he mentioned that due to the situation right now, Dean is the one who is really driving kind of the whole action right now, really driving what's going on. He's making the big decisions. I'm kind of aiming that at people who are screaming that Dean has no mythos. Look what Carver is saying, okay? Okay? Then, and Carver said that the consequences of his decisions will be massive and various, from humorous to tragic, that we're gonna see a lot of them pretty much in every episode, including even little humorous moments. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, even though we're watching Supernatural. And then he said that the question of Cass getting an anti-possession tattoo will be addressed, whether he needs it, whether he doesn't need it, whether he'll get one, that will get addressed on the show, which is yay! Also, there was a question about what Cass meant to Dean now, since he's human and not as useful in terms of like being a tool as he used to be. And he said that now that Cass is human, his value to the boys is, if anything, even greater. Yeah. And that is a theme we're going to see. And he said that he hopes that people aren't thinking that they're going to kind of devalue Cass, that if anything, they're increasing his value through making him human. And in terms of the rumors, the news about Cass getting thrown out of the bunker, he said that Cass isn't in any way being put in the corner, and that everything that happens is for good reason.
Nobody puts Cass in the corner.
Yeah, and that is the gist of it. That's the news we got from that.
It's all very exciting. I think
it's extremely exciting.
The thing is, I think Carver's a big Cass fan, and I think, he'll look after him, and I think, and I'm just like, oh my god, yes.
I love Carver.
I love Carver.
I love Carver so much.
He's like a champagne.
Put him right onto my bosom because he is amazing.
Yes.
And I like him as a showrunner. I feel like he is a really good guy when it comes to making a storyline, to balancing out between humor and the heart-wrenching death.
And
like obviously he did that in season 8. Like, you had amazing lighthearted episodes. You had the season finale, and it's just really enjoyable.
I love that he's been there for like a while, and so he knows the boys, he knows the show, and Yeah.
He's
Can I
he's
say
obviously not perfect, but he's very good in my opinion.
he's very good? And can I just say, I am totally getting the impression that we really are getting another fanfic season.
Yes, actual fanfic.
In the best way
9.
possible. Because, it's like everything the fandom has been talking about and dreaming about is actually happening and getting addressed, and it's amazing.
I am like really, but judging on the first 2 episodes that we've had, and they've both been really strong, I am so excited about season 9. I am so pumped up for it. I think it's going to be a really good season. I think, like, because it's like, obviously, like season 7, there were like more weaker episodes than there were stronger episodes. And I think season 9 is like, oh, there's going to be so many more stronger episodes than there are weaker episodes. I think it's going to just be, they're going to hit it out of the park all the time because they've got this big kind of huge blockbuster kind of season going ahead of them, and
I also think that what's gonna make that sort of easier for season 9 to make it that blockbuster season is that in season 8 they had to deal with the consequences of season 7, while season 9 is picking up for season 8. They already have their stage set up. They just need to play with it,
Oh, I forgot something. Apparently, Cass will not know. Dean is going to keep it secret from Cass. That obviously that Ezekiel's possessing Sam. So I think that's got quite some angst. The fact that he's keeping it secret, and it's going to be for what? It's going to be for some substantial time. So I'm pretty much thinking that if he keeps it secret, it's going to be to the mid-season finale that Cass will find out. Because obviously Jared sent that tweet saying it's big, it's epic, and I'm thinking it'll be painful then. And I think if Cass is to find out, and if things are starting to become unraveling, I think it'll unravel by the time we go on hiatus in December.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost like a reverse situation where first Dean didn't know that Cass was working with Crowley, and now Cass didn't know that that Dean is sort of conspiring with Ezekiel who's inside Sam.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting to see what Cass' reaction is going to be.
And that kind of makes me kind of mad at Dean because I feel like Dean is kind of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Like, not even kind of hypocrite. Dean is like a hypocrite.
Well, the thing is, Dean always kind of like does exactly the same and just kind of covers it with the excuse. Well, I'm the oldest. I'm the big brother.
I wish we could get to the stage. I wish these guys would get to the stage when they're not keeping secrets. Jesus Christ. I mean, honestly, Dean, Cass, Sam, I want y'all to look back in your freaking lives. When has keeping secrets ever done anything for you?
Well, the thing is, if they didn't keep secrets, then they would have to admit their big love for each other.
And I'm just,
It is. Black Eye is right. They are setting up so much drama, and I love it, and I hate it, and that is the Supernatural fan. Drama, yes. Brilliant. Oh no, the pain. No! Oh, I see a doggy.
Everyone, for the last 4 minutes, you're going to get to look at Cass for the while we speak.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, because remember, this is our mascot, by the way. For anyone who's new, this is the Profound Radio mascot. This is Castiel.
And I do agree with D. I do think, in a way, D can be very selfish.
Oh, yeah, well, they all are. They all are.
Yeah, they all be. It's just,
But yeah, I'm just so excited for season 9, and I'm so excited for Tuesday night. Well, it'll be Wednesday night for me, but yeah.
And yeah, also, I think we have a little tidbit to cover yet. Something about artwork for Profound Radio.
Oh, yes. Guys, here at Profound Radio, we are trying to get more well-known. And since I've been made head of advertising, I've been thinking, what would be a good way to advertise for Profound Radio? And I thought, well, we're really into fandom inclusion. Like, we love to include you guys in what we do. We show that with our summer shows, and we love talking to you guys on the chat. And you guys are able to send us asks. So I'm thinking, why don't we have people actually submit art, and then it can be a sort of a showcase. we can showcase people's different arts in the fandom, and in turn, we can also use it to help us get more well known. So it's sort of like we're helping each other out. So what I'm thinking is, if any of you guys are artists, or any of you guys know artists in the fandom, we are looking for you guys to send us art. Now, this art does not have to be professional. It does not have to be super amazing. If you guys think that if you guys have something that you want to show people, then send it to us. We'll post it on our blog, and we may even show it on one of our shows. Like maybe during the end of the episode, we'll have an art showcase.
Yes.
We want you guys to send us art, and we want to be able to post the art so that more people can see it. Also, you guys will get full credit. You guys will get actual. You
Lots
guys
of
will
love
get,
from us.
Yeah. What? Say it again. What do you say, Gemma?
They'll get lots of love from us and adoration and awe because I can only draw a stick man.
Yeah. Seriously, guys. It's not about how well you can draw. It's you think you have art and you want to send it in, then we are going to show it, and it's going to be amazing.
Yes. Also, quickly, I want to do a Halloween episode of Profound Radio. So also, can you start emailing scary stories, like real things that have happened to you, to team@profoundradio.com?
Oh,
and
yes.
if we get some stinkers in, we will read them out. Okay, so Halloween episode.
Yeah.
It'll be around Halloween. And for someone who asked, Cass, I want to dress Cass up as a ghost or a zombie for Halloween, and he's going to answer the door. So, that's cool. Anyway.
Okay, it is
time. Which means our lovely Prophet Hour people are coming on next. I hope they're ready.
Yes.
They have been briefly trained, so we'll see how this goes. So everyone, guys, stay around and, give them lots of support. Show the amount of love we've had from you.
It's going to be so interesting for them.
Yes, remember they're newbies, so they may have some technical issues, so give them, a lot of love. Show them all your faith, and we will be back with you.
And they're fantastic people.
Yes, us specific ones, we'll be back with you on next Saturday, and Kaleb will be with you on Wednesday, hopefully. Are you there, Kaleb?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be there on Wednesday? Yep. So we'll see you all around soon. So we love you all, and enjoy the Meta Show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, bye.
Enjoy, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.